Okay, so this is the 12th video for the Jagdpanther tank destroyer, and we're just going to continue with some detailing. I have a few items here, but obviously if you can't find exactly what I'm using, you'll need to replace it with something else. I've got some 5mm Google eyes, and basically that's calculated by what the size of the base is. So the base is about 5mm. I've got some 12 ring caps. They're a different size than 8 ring caps. And I'm going to use 2 of those. I've also got some 7mm discs punched out of cereal box. And this is an item that I just get a lot of these Google Eyes when I buy the other side because they come in variety packs. So I never really get a chance to use these for much. But the pupils, the inside of it, is useful for a couple of pieces for detailing the superstructure, so that's what I'm going to use. Now, you might want to find something slightly different. You can also use the base of these 5mm Google Eyes. It's a bit thin, which is why I selected these for myself, but it will work in a pinch. So, let's start out by cutting free one of these 12 ring caps. And actually, you want to be really careful about this. You need to remove this very carefully because the entire backing part will be visible. And then we're actually just going to cut off the entire amount of, like, everything but the very base. So kind of get your blade to bite in on one side. And then carefully, so as not to cut yourself, quite often just like spin the cap and try to keep the blade right up against the base expansion. Then when you've got it cut off, generally it's a good idea to just rub down both sides a little bit on some fine sandpaper. It won't do much, but it will make, because you're gluing a piece on top of this, will make it slightly easier to get that glued down on top. And flatten out any inconsistencies where you've cut it off. Now, you may want to use a different material for this, as these are just suggestions. But they are a good size for this piece that we're going to make. Okay, this is the right glue. So these 12 ring caps, rather, you'll need 2 of those, and they go there and there. And just like before you cover up this, keep it, have a look that there are symbols that will, a piece that goes on top of this, but you won't be able to see those symbols now that they're being covered up. But you just kind of want to mark that they're facing back and forth with the long direction. Like these ones would be facing this way, and those ones face forward and back. They're periscopes, which is why I say they face away. Okay, so get those glued on there. Now we want to take the pupils out of these Google Eyes, unless you're using some sort of other material, like I said, the base of a Google Eye. Essentially, you just cut off the plastic, dump out the eye, and because it is plastic as well, I would recommend definitely sanding it down. They hold paint way easier that way, and they're a lot easier also to glue to the surfaces. And where I put those is here and here. And like I said, you can use a 5mm Google Eye base for this as well. And I have one 5mm Google Eye here, which I'm going to install here. Now try to select one that's fairly even, like the clear part is centrally located on the base. So kind of a nice one to put there, because you're putting it wholly and intact. And now we take these 7mm hole punch discs, 2 of them, And as carefully as you can, try to cut it straight down the center. You may want to try a couple times until you get them perfectly separated down the center. And I do recommend coming from the non-glossy side, because sometimes the glossy side you'll get an effect where you can't really tell where the center is because of the coloration. And so I'm going to install these, and you see how they're sort of angled on the template. You want to put a little bit of room between them when you install them, and make sure that you're on that angle. Just leave a tiny gap between the two pieces. And same for this piece here. And if nothing else, try to make sure that the angles that you achieve with these two doors match each other. If it's not perfect with a template, they should at least be the same. Okay, and that gets us the next layer of detailing for the Jagdpanther tank destroyer. I think I'll leave it there for now. And see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.